welcome to Book Dust Media. My name is Alex, joined as always with my lovely wife, Bethany. Today, she's going to be discussing Sarah J. Maas's Crescent City book number 1, correct?
Book series.
Book series.
But yeah, I have finished the number 1. So I did finish the House of Earth and Blood, which was really good. There was a lot to that. I am halfway through the House of Sky and Breath, and this book is super pretty. I just picked up today from the library The House of Flame and Shadow, and I have not started this one yet, but I like the artwork in this one too.
Pretty cool tattoo. That's all I think about.
I'm dedicated. I'm not that dedicated.
I'm going to get it tattooed and I haven't even read it. So let's jump into the first book that you did finish. Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood.
Yeah.
Sounds like a horror book. It's not a horror book?
No.
Sounds like a slasher film or something.
It is really interesting. It is set in a urban metropolitan area. I'm not super used to that. The other books that I've read are not really, they're
Creative
set.
worlds.
Yeah, they're set more in like medieval style places almost. Not that there really are, but I don't know, like that's like the feeling that I get off of those books. So this is not. This is set in like an urban setting. The world is like super detailed. When you open the book up, you have a map that's awesome, but I don't really understand it till I actually finish the book. So I don't know why it's in the beginning. You could have put it at the end and it would make more sense to me.
Well, while you're reading a lot of books, you can go back and reference to
I don't do that.
the map. No?
Yeah, I just keep going. I just keep going and I just wait for it to work for me. The way that it's set up also in the beginning, it lets you know that how these different houses work. There are so many different kinds of creatures in these books. Like the Crescent City world is so many different creatures. You have shifters, you have humans, witches, animals. You have
What do the shifters turn into? Like what are they shifting into?
They shift into wolves. They shift into birds. They shift into there's mer creatures, so like mermaid.
Merman.
There is a merman. Okay. There's angels, there's demons, there's elemental people, there's sprites. They're like these little
Like the drink?
they're like these little creatures that are like on fire. Like these little fire sprites and stuff.
Alright.
There is things that I've never heard of. Apparently there's dragons. I haven't gotten to the dragons yet. And reapers and there's just so much really cool stuff in these books. There's definitely a lot of world building. For me, it was like the first 100 to maybe 150 pages was just world building. So it took me a lot to get into the book.
Okay. Yeah, so like a struggle to keep going because it's slow and slowly building that world. I mean, 100 pages, that's a lot of world building. It
was a lot to get into, and it took me a little while before I really liked the main character. Bryce she's cool, but she starts off as this like party girl, and I don't
like a woo girl?
Kind of. I don't like click with that so much, so it took me getting into the series to kind of click with her more as a character, but I do really, really like her now. And I like the characters and I got invested. This book is set up almost as, you asked if it was horror. It's not really horror, but there's like thriller stuff that's in it a little bit, and it's centered around her investigating the death of her friend. So it's this whole kind of crazy investigation, and that was kind of different for me because I'm not really used to that in like my fantasy worlds. But it was really interesting. It's I don't know, it pushed me out of what I've been reading and like the kinds of books that I've been reading, and it kind of built on that in a different way. I thought it was cool, and it had me at I was on the edge of my seat, and I was texting my husband. all these crazy text messages about why do I read these books? Because I'm like I wasn't even at the last 100 pages. I think I was like at the last 150 pages or something. And I'm texting him, I'm like, why am I doing this? And I was so upset about, being kind of on the edge of my seat. And then she just, Maas really likes to...
The end gets crazy.
It does. The
What I've
last
heard. I haven't
100
read any of
pages
them
is
yet.
like this crazy whirlwind, and your emotions are everywhere, and you don't know what's going on, up from down, and it is just very intense. So I liked it, but I didn't like it at midnight when I couldn't put down the book and stop reading because I wanted to know more in just one more chapter.
It's always just one more
It's
chapter.
always just one more chapter. And I had feelings,
So,
but it was good.
it starts off a lot slower compared to her other books, because you've read all the other books,
Yeah.
right?
I have read all
Are the other
series.
ones slow like this, or they're more fast-paced?
No. If I were to give a recommendation for somebody that has not read her books yet, you do not start here. You definitely don't start here because book number 3 that I picked up from the library, it crosses worlds. And so you don't want to start at this series because it takes a lot more to get into it. Once you get invested, it's worth the investment. But you have to get like a fourth of the way through the book before you're like, okay, I get sort of what's happening. I would start...
That would be tough for me to...
See, I would
100
start where you
pages.
probably wouldn't want to start, which is A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Mm-hmm.
That first book is a great entry level into fantasy because it's not as much world building. It's still a great series, and you still get that like last 100 pages of, books 2 through 4, 5, where you're just like, what's going on? But the first book isn't like that as much, and it's a great entry level. The Throne of Glass is an amazing series. I've heard people say that they had a hard time getting invested. I did not have a hard time getting invested in that series. I started with the novella first, Assassin's Blade, and I was like, I was down for it. All the way up to the last book is amazing. The last book is so good, so good, and I'm sad that it's gone, but it's really great. And this one I can tell is gonna have a lot to it, but it's worth it if you can get yourself to get through the first half of the book.
You read this. The last 100 pages, I'm assuming, is a whirlwind of different emotions. She's kicking and screaming upstairs. I hear her all the way down here. 3 stories. I hear her screaming at her book. So does this book leave you on a cliffhanger, so you immediately have to start the second book?
She doesn't typically in her books.
That's not her writing style.
It's
Chapter, like leaving a cliffhanger.
Chapter does that for sure.
Okay.
Chapter over chapter is like I just want to get in, and it's multiple point of views, so it definitely does that. I want to say Court of Thorns and Roses is a multiple point of views, but it's been a minute since I've read the first book. The rest of her books are definitely multiple point of views, and so that also kind of gets you to want to go into the next chapter because you could have been left on a cliffhanger 2 chapters ago.
Yeah.
The book doesn't quite leave you like that. I will say, as far as the romance, there's more romance in this. There's not romance, and Throne of Glass is not romantic-y as much. It doesn't have the stuff.
Wait, this has the stuff?
This has
More?
stuff. For sure, this has stuff. But it's a slow burn book.
So I have to read how many books to get to the stuff? 8 books or something? I'm just trying to get to the stuff.
Okay, no. Court of Thorns and Roses, the first book, doesn't really have stuff, but the book, the chapter 33 is in book 2.
Yeah.
So you have to get 8 books in. Chapter 33 is in book 2.
Oh, okay.
So there's stuff. But Throne of Glass is not known for being, it's not on like the spicy jalapeno level. There's no spicy jalapeno. There's like 1 chapter in 8 books that has any kind of spice. This one has stuff, but it's a slow burn book. So you're gonna get through this book and you're gonna be like, I've been waiting for this build up, and it's not, it doesn't even happen this book. So it's fine. It's very slow burn.
I don't think there should be a slow burn with your stuff. But let's go see your doctor. If it burns when you pee.
Yeah, you should.
Clip that.
Clip that. What? Throw it in the beginning?
Yeah.
I like it.
Is it a 5-star? Bring back your Goodreads star rating so when you finally hit that one book that is a 5-star. Because you have nowhere, you're giving all these books a 5-star, so they're all 5 stars. There's nowhere else to go here.
Are you calling me easy? Are you saying that I'm easy with my stars? I just throw my stars out there to anybody. Yeah. I let everybody.
You get a star.
Yeah, you get a star.
Everyone gets a star.
Okay, to be fair, I have not given every book 5 stars. I have given all of these books 5 stars. Oh yeah, I have given all. Oh, I don't have hers behind me. Anyway, I've given all of these books 5 stars. I have historically given like a couple books not 5 stars. They're good. They're good.
You're the Oprah of star ratings.
I just throw my stars to anybody except for apparently Hooked. They did. That didn't get 5 stars. I got 4 stars. It was still good. Don't tell my daughter. She's not ever allowed to read those books.
So you're almost done with this book, and then we're gonna get your whole review on this book. The bookmark right there. You're almost halfway. Looks like you're halfway.
It's really good. I like this one. This one, obviously, I don't think it's a spoiler to say it's about the angel. This is Hunt. This is Angel. This is Bryce in the front of this book.
You're not sure on the third one who that is yet? You haven't got
I
there
don't know. I'm wondering. My issue now here is I keep trying to pick up these little breadcrumbs that I know are coming, because I know this third book is going to take all these things. It's going to be all this breadcrumbs, and it's going to be woven through 3 different universes. As I'm going through this book, I'm trying to pick apart these little breadcrumbs and see if I can figure it out before things happen. I'm starting to think back to these other books that I've already read that I've enjoyed a lot, but trying to picture how they're going to like weave together. I did have that experience once with Throne of Glass. At the end of that series, they wove that in with Court of Thorns and Roses, and so that was super fun for me to have read it in the order that I've read it in. I was able to kind of see how they cross over. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm thinking this is Bryce. I think it's Bryce. I just don't know exactly what happens. I mean, there's some demon stuff, so I'm thinking it's demon related, honestly. In this book, they are going through seven pits of hell. She is talking to these different princes of these different hells and stuff, so I'm thinking that some crazy shit happens at the end of this book. I have a feeling. And I think that's Bryce, honestly. But I could be totally wrong, because, again, I haven't finished this, so.
Stay tuned.
I don't know yet.
And so she figures it out. I have no idea who Bryce is.
Looks
like a chick.
I think it's Bryce, and I think...
Is it Bryce a chick?
Yes.
Oh.
I think
Bryce.
She has a star right now on her chest that appeared at the end of book 1 as she got her powers, and I am assuming the star has slowly navigated up to the top of her head. So
all right,
that's
guys,
what I'm thinking.
Stay tuned if you want to hear her thoughts when she finishes the next book, probably in the next day. I'm saying day and a half.
I'm gonna say weekend. I think I'm gonna get through this weekend, and that's my hope. My issue now is these books are really long. So I was averaging about a book a week, and at this point, it's slowing my average. So it's gonna take me slightly over a week. But yeah, that's my hope. That's my hope.
There you go.
I'm getting ready to throw my 5 stars at it.
You're halfway through, Sherry. Sure, you rated it 5 stars on Goodreads.
I did not, but I'm going.
You have a final thought before we leave the people of the internet?
If you have read her other books and you have enjoyed them, I would tell you to come read this one too. I think it is really good. I think it's worth checking out. I would not read this book or this series. I would not start the series if you have not read her other series. I would start with The Court of Thorns and Roses, make your way through those books, and then I would join up with Throne of Glass before you do these books, for sure. They're going to weave in together with these other series. I'm sure they'll make sense enough to read by themselves without those books, but it would be better, and you'd probably enjoy it more if you started with the other ones. It's a lot of books. It's worth it, no, babe?
I'm good right now.
In the comments, tell him to do it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Alright guys,
13 books.
We'll catch you guys in the next video.
13?